Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to 340 Caribbean Culture. I'm down here out in St. Pete at Pass-a-Grille. This general area is one of the more quieter beaches of Florida or St. Pete area. If you head out towards like further down the stretch, if you head down towards Clearwater and stuff like that, the beaches usually packed. Down here, it depends on what day it is or whatever. You have a lot of people that come down here because this is like the historical part of the beach, and you got quite a few good restaurants and stuff around here. I used to come here every day because I drove the buses when I first moved down here, and I picked the run that brought me down to the beach, and I drove the trolley, and I honestly used to look forward to the end of the line because I'm coming down here. I have maybe 20-30 minutes to chill down here. I used to walk down to the water and just relax and get my mind right for the next trip, because I'm gonna tell you, I used to love driving the bus or operating the bus. I moved down here. I went from loving the bus to honestly hating the bus. And it's kind of crazy. We had transit police and we had, the local police. Now DC kind of different, because DC, you will have your sign on saying need help, call police, and they'll look at you and keep driving. But I mainly worked out of Virginia. And from the time that sign trip, you basically surrounded by police. But down here, everybody do what they want. They ride the bus, and they, we put out with a lot driving the buses in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, the DMV area. But down here is a whole different animal. I came here to Pass-a-Grille just to kind of relax a little bit. I ain't been in the best of mood, and then today's my brother's birthday, so happy birthday, big brother. And came down here just to kind of kick back, because this is his kind of thing. He goes to the beach and he relaxes and enjoys himself at the beach. And it's kind of crazy. I live here in Florida and I very seldom visit the beach. The only way I used to come to the beach was when I was driving the buses and coming down here. But I came to the beach since I've been here in Florida. I came to the beach one time to say, actually, and honestly, I didn't even go in the water. My wife and friends and family, they went in the water and relaxed. And I don't know. I just can't. I look at it this way. I would say, where I grew up at, it's like you go out in the water. I used to go diving and stuff like that, and you see the sharks, and the sharks won't do you nothing. The sharks around here kind of disrespectful, so I stay as far out to the water as possible. I just got me a little breakfast from Pass-a-Grille, and it just so happened that the lady recognized me. Like I said, I used to drive the buses coming down here, and she recognized me. I didn't get the employee discount as I used to get, but I did get something to eat. Food down here usually be pretty good. My wife and I would come down here, but we used to come on the other side and just chill, watch the sunrise. But the times that we used to come here wasn't open. We used to come early in the morning. I really wanted a burger. Their burgers are pretty good, but they don't start serving breakfast lunch until 11:30. It's a little restaurant, and that's usually the gift shop. It's not cold at all. The bottle feels cold, but it's not cold. If you ever get a chance to come to the Florida St. Pete area, Tampa, Florida, St. Pete area, come on down to Pass-a-Grille. Check it out. There's a little restaurant over here. It's called Brass Monkey. The owners are actually out of Maryland, and they make amazing Maryland style crab cakes. This was just a spur of the moment thing. Morning. Yeah, this was just a spur of the moment thing coming out here. And I had no intention of making breakfast because I made breakfast at home for my wife to take to work. But I had no intention, but turned out that I came down here. It's a beautiful day. They drive down here. They have rebuilt a lot of stuff down here since the hurricane. Hurricane tore up down here bad. So they added an extension to Don Caesar, which is a historical hotel down here. It's a lot cleaner down here, and it's changed. It's changed a little bit. I haven't been down here in a while, but I don't know if they changed anything, because the bus used to come down here, and that's why I stopped doing the run, because the folks didn't want the buses coming down here anymore. because and I don't blame them. The buses, we come down here and it's like the homeless folks, we bring them down here and they come down and cause a lot of problems for the guests and stuff like that. And I came down here one morning and there was 2 homeless people in my bus stop laying down on the ground buck naked. So they're trying not to bring all that stuff down here. They had to stop the buses from coming down here, and it was just they had we were stopped way up the road and by the dances and they had like some little golf carts that would continue bringing the people down here, and that would detour the homeless folks because they wouldn't let them ride. Everyone falls on hard times. So we had some rough times, you know. But these guys, they take it a whole different limit and create problems for other people. They used to come down here every day, and she would never have a problem. She used to ride my bus and stuff like that. She would never have a problem paying fare and everything else. And she would put on her bathing suit, and right behind me the showers, so she would go back there and just have a nice little shower. Have a nice little shower. She stayed clean. Should have asked for a glass of ice. When she handed me the bottle, they felt cold. But drinking is a different story. God, that make came on here. I would just get my food and enjoy it on my bus. But this is the first time I just sitting on here enjoying it. I've come out there at the bench and relax, because there's a lot of sea grapes down here, and when they're ripe, they're all over the place, and people down here didn't know what it was. They just see me eating it, picking them up and eating them, and picking them off of the tree and eating it. And they would come up to me and ask me, what are those? I tell them I taste it. When they taste it, they realize it's sweet. So then they start picking them up off the ground and washing them and eating them, you know. I'll be honest, living down here in Florida, you know, some people come down here for the water and everything else, and they come down to enjoy themselves, you know. But it's so crazy. I didn't come down here enjoying the water and all that. Just too much sharks. Shark attack. Where I'm from, you don't hear too much sharks attack. I'm from the first now, you know. When you see this, they shark and they don't bother you. I maybe heard, and this was when I was little. Somebody was out there making bay and went swimming beyond they have like a net. I don't know if it's still there, but went swimming beyond it and got bit. That was the only incident that I actually ever heard of. I prefer it on the side than stay at Water Beach and dance pass and all that. Too much people. Too many people. I really hate these paper straws. I had to pause for a little bit. People have no kind of, I don't know. I'm sitting there eating my food, and all these tables around here designed for people to be eating. And they're gonna come right where I'm eating and start spraying suntan lotion. All the spaces, open space everywhere else. You're gonna come right next to me where I'm eating to spray the suntan lotion. I try not to say nothing sometimes because a simple excuse me or whatever to turn racial and whatever else around here. I don't get political. I avoid every kind of political aspect. But the very first time this guy got elected, things changed dramatically and dramatically. People went crazy. They want to stand in front of your face and call you the N-word and some more stuff while they're trying to don't have the money to pay for the fare, but want to be disrespectful and think they can spit on you and all that kind of crazy stuff. I got more crazy in me than a lot of them things, so. It's not even worth the hassle. That was a good breakfast. Got a lot more food than I usually get. That was a lot of egg. Onions, peppers. It had a lot of spinach in it. I'm not a spinach guy, but it had a lot of spinach in it. And if you wanted meat in it, you pay a little extra. I got some ham in it. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. I love it down here. It's always been one of my favorite places to come and chill. Even when I was, like I said, when I was working, that was honestly one of the only reasons why I picked the run, because it ended down here. But like I said before, anytime you guys come down here to Florida and you hit St. Pete's, everybody rush to Clearwater Beach. But this beach down here is never as packed as Clearwater. As a matter of fact, it doesn't have a quarter of the people that does be down to down Clearwater. Clearwater, Johns Pass, all them areas over there, Treasure Beach. Too much people. If you want to come down to a beach and enjoy yourself and relax, Pass-a-Grille. How you doing? Not bad. They've done a lot of upgrading down here. They painted up the place and have it looking pretty nice. As simple as they put a storage room and they actually put an enclosure for the trash. Makes it look a lot more cleaner and neater. And even the front, where by the restaurant, they did some upgrades. That restaurant right there, that's the Brass Monkey. If you want to go and get you some nice crab cakes. Before I leave, I'll go down to the water. I wanted to do a live, but the reception down here really, it never used to be that good. So I didn't want to take the chance, do a live and have it all spotty and stuff. So I went ahead and just recorded. If you're out on the shore, you can see the little dolphins and the tarpons and the sharks and stuff. You see the little fins sticking out of the water. They got the parasail boats and stuff down here. My sea grape friend right there, the tree. I've seen some stuff on the ground, but the sea grapes itself are green still. Just want to say happy birthday to my brother again. I wish I could have been in St. Thomas with you. And I know you got your friends and everybody else down there, but I do miss my brother. I'm gonna save a little video for going down the road and show you guys a little bit of St. Pete's. For you guys that don't know, those are sea grapes. They're tangy, but when they get nice and ripe, they turn red to as far as like even a dark deep purple. and they're extremely sweet at that point. It's not as long a stretch, maybe close as Clearwater Beach, but it's a pretty decent sized beach. And compared to some, like this one in Clearwater Beach, you don't have to walk that far to get to the beach from the parking lot. My wife and I went to one that it was just a birthday party, but it was such a long walk from where we parked at to get to the water. The beach stretched for miles. You stand here long enough, you'll see some fins and stuff coming up out of the water. It smells amazing. I should have held off on breakfast and ate lunch down here. You see the sign on there, it's a brass monkey. Come down here, you can rent your paddles. They even have a section here for if you don't have toys. You can just take a toy. That's new. I haven't seen. Well, I ain't been down here in a while, but that was in here last time I came down, which been a minute. There's water on the other side over there. We call this Pass-a-Grille. With the area is Pass-a-Grille, but the restaurant itself is called Paradise Grill. You could pause and read. My wife used to come down here, my wife and myself, we used to come down here. There's some benches down here. People come over on this side to go fishing and stuff. And there's a dock up here that people come to get on charter boats and stuff like that. We just sit right here on these benches and just sit and wait for the sun to come up. It's a beautiful, beautiful view. Beautiful view. They come over here and they get on the charter boats at these little slips right here. Alright, coming up, there's Peachish Pinkish Hotel. It's called a Don Caesar. It's a historical hotel. You find a lot of rich folks come there and stay, but you know, it's very historical to this general area. The Don Caesar. telling you guys that the buses used to come down to the beach. Well, this is as far as they come. It's still a beachfront, but it's nowhere near Pass-a-Grille where the buses normally come. Now this particular area here is considered Treasure Island area. Keep going up the road, you know, you can run into John's Pass. There's a lot of different stretches. It's mainly the same water, but it's just different parts of the same water. We're on Gulf to Bay. There's a lot of shops around here. Banks and restaurants. The famous Thunderbird Hotel and Restaurant. There's a whole lot of old historic businesses in this general area, and all these different arteries take you over different bridges, whereas you can take a look over into the water. You can't actually stop on the water. Actually, they don't want you really. There's a little path that you can walk, but you know, a lot of these bridges, especially like the Skyway Bridge, they don't want anybody walking, because the Skyway Bridge itself, a lot of people has you know, called it the end right there. Let's put it that way. All this is still Treasure Island. As soon as you cross over, there's a bridge right ahead. As soon as you cross over that bridge, that'll be the end of Treasure Island, and you'll be into John's Pass. Now, John's Pass itself, everybody, it's like when I first moved, hey, you go to church, you go to John's Pass, you go to John's Pass. I had no clue what John's Pass was, but John's Pass basically is a whole bunch of shops, restaurants, and a marina. The marina right there brings in a lot of seafood, and you got a lot of fresh seafood coming off of the boats, you know, so it's as fresh as you can get it. That's the big parking lot right there. There's another restaurant right inside there. There's a Hooters there, and there's a Bubba Gump. They're always asking about the Bubba Gump. Well, this is John's Pass. A bunch of shops, restaurants, hotels, guest houses, you name it, it's all down here. This is an area you got to be very careful, because as soon as there's a little button they touch to the crosswalk, and you got to stop. And they honestly, as soon as they touch it, they're done already stepping out into the street, so they don't give you an opportunity to stop. My vehicle is fine, you know, I can stop, but in the bus they don't even give you an opportunity to really stop. Before you can even reach over and put your foot on the brake, they're already out in the middle of the street. But yeah, all this is called John's Pass. Okay. All right. Right now we're in Madeira Beach, and all of it is basically on the same stretch of water. But a lot of these places here got damaged from the hurricane, and they rebuilt. You know, and actually it's looking pretty good. A lot of the beach access, you know, has been restored. And if you look straight ahead, that's one of the trolleys that I used to drive. Now this area here is called Reddington Shores. Now it's an older community, and more of the richer folks be hanging out on this end. It's a lot of condos, a lot of restaurants, and a lot of guest houses and stuff. And you always hear people talking about Reddington Shores. Let's go to Reddington Shores. I mean, there's a lot of beachfront behind these hotels and stuff like that. But to be honest, I'm gonna stick with Pass-a-Grille. Alright, we're coming up on Indian Shores. There was an old Cadillac that used to be sitting on the side of the road. I guess they moved it. But it was an old car that was painted up. It was like a landmark. Salt Rock Grill. I keep saying I'm gonna try this place. At least this one in St. Pete's. Well, I shouldn't say St. Pete's, Indian Shores. All this general area here, bunch of hotels, condos, timeshares, everything you could think about, kind of Airbnbs, big clubs, you name it, is down here. You know, a lot of beachfront property. A lot of beachfront property. They put those big humps in the road for the bus to pull up next to, and that's because it was a deep step for the folks to get up onto the bus. So what they did, that's the bike lane, but then if you notice, they got those big humps right there. You just pull right up there and pick the folks up. Krabby Bill's is one of the asked for restaurants around here. Everybody wants to go to Krabby Bill's. At this light right here, there's a main entrance to the beach, and that's what I like. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of little areas here you can go behind the hotels and everything else and go to the beach, but right there, that's one of the main entrances. Walsingham. There's a hotel back there. I forgot what his name, but there's a little street back there that one of the buses used to stop at, and there's a hotel back there that has like there's a hotel back there that has a big water slide and all of that stuff back there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a Hilton, either Hilton or Best Western. But it's secluded back there. There's a little water entrance back there, but then you have all this other area over here and all these famous restaurants. There's a little ice cream parlor right there. They make a whole bunch of different ice cream. It says 100 flavors. That's the entrance I was telling you about. This general area here, you're gonna see a lot of the a lot of the Sunrunner, or back then they were just the trolley bus stops. But the further you go up the road, you know, you're not going to see the bus stops anymore, because there's a little area up here that they don't want the buses stopping. Down here you have a bunch of baseball players and, you know, football players and stuff that live in this general area here. But a little further up, you'll see a lot of the big mansions and stuff like that. They don't want the buses stopping in that area. It's like you'll be going up and you'll see bus stops, and then when you get further up, you won't see any bus stops. And some of the people want to get off, but you can't let them off, because the people, they're gonna call and complain. And, you know, even the police, if the police see you stopping in a general area and there's no bus stop, they will issue you a ticket. And to be honest, I was told that when I first started working with a company and they were doing the route training and stuff down here, and they'll tell you straight up, if there's no bus stop, don't stop, don't pick nobody up. Indian Rocks Beach, that's another one of the main entrances. But like I said, the further up you go, you'll stop seeing the bus stops. And it's sad, because yeah, you're a rich person or whatever, but you have employees and stuff that's working for you. And the sad thing is, I can't let them off there because, oh, they want to get out. Because if I get a ticket, I own that ticket. The company is not going to pay the ticket for you. So you basically own that ticket. So, you know, they'll be mad and cussing you out and stuff. Oh, I want to get off here and get off here. Well, you gotta wait till I get to another bus stop, because I'm not paying no ticket because I stopped here being nice to let you off. And they know this, but then they'll make a big issue and, you know, have an attitude and everything else, knowing that you can't stop there. I understand that you have to walk back or walk forward to your employer. Pick it up with your employer. They are the ones who don't want the buses stopping. You know, all these big houses and stuff are owned by baseball players and football players, and, you know, people that got big money. You know, so I think I passed the last bus stop. It's been a while. I haven't worked for this company for a couple of years, well, but yeah, I think I passed the last bus stop. But all this stretch, you know, in between, you have all these different houses. The people, you can't let them off. They have to walk back to where they lived, where they're working at. And you can't blame us. You gotta blame the employer, because the employer doesn't want the buses stopping. They will call the police. They'll call the company and give the company a bus number if they see you stopping and some more. You know, and yeah, I mean, they're gonna give a reprimand or talk to you or whatever, but there's a difference where you have to pay out of pocket being nice, paying a ticket. And if you notice, this is a long way up and there's no bus stop. There is no bus stop. These folks have to actually walk to these different houses to work. And the thing is, I could guarantee they ain't paying them a whole bunch of money, because, you know, if they can't afford a car and they just catching the buses, you know, and a lot of them bawl about the fare and stuff, you know, so you know they're not paying them a whole lot of money, you know. And then bad enough, like I said, they gotta still walk. Because you never know where these police are. The police be sitting in the little cuts watching, you know, especially if they got a report that a bus was stopping or whatever. Yeah, they'll hide in a little cut waiting to catch you. If you notice, I've been driving, and this is the reason why I'm holding the camera up, because if you notice, there's still no bus stop. That big intersection back there where the road had split, that was the last bus stop. And these folks either gotta get off way back there and walk to wherever, or get way up the road, and then they'll have to walk back. And it's kind of difficult because by the time you get to your job, you're extremely tired. That's a long, long walk. And I feel bad for them, you know, but I don't feel bad enough that that I'm gonna pay a ticket to let you off. There was a bus stop right here by this marina, but I don't even see the bus stop there no more. That was the next bus stop. It might be, they might have left the one up here by the hotel. Okay, it's right up here by the hotel. The entrance of this marina. It was back there, but this is another one here. This is after all of that stretch that you saw me driving. This is the next bus stop. That is absolutely crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Okay. They put up a new bridge. That bridge wasn't there when I used to work down here. That's cool. They put a new bridge. They put a new parking lot. All that. That was not there. That was a restaurant. That's the beach right there. That's Clearwater Beach. Clearwater Beach usually ram-pack. When I say ram-pack, I mean ram-pack. There's a trolley coming down to the beach. That one goes halfway down and turn around and meet up with the other trolley that came from St. Pete's, from downtown St. Pete's. And the passengers just go from one bus to the next. That's Clearwater Beach. You see how packed that beach is? It is packed. Yeah, Clearwater itself is it's a little city with a lot of history. Clearwater, most of the property and stuff in Clearwater is owned by the Scientology religion. They own a lot. Let me put it this way: they owned almost the whole of Clearwater. All in between the different streets and stuff, they own a lot of the buildings, and you know, they house their community in the buildings. So yeah, they got a big footprint here in Clearwater. All this general area, if you know, you know, Hulk Hogan, you know, loves to hang out in this area, and little restaurants and stuff in the area he frequent. You know, he got his own restaurant and stuff that's further down, you know, but well, he used to. His family owns it now, I guess. But yeah, guys, until next time, love you.